Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming two first-time competitors at the Masters, Jasper Stubbs and Santiago de Fuente. Jasper earned his invitation with a victory at the Asian Pacific Amateur Championship last fall, and Santiago's invitation is courtesy of his win at the Latin American Amateur Championship this past January. I'll begin with Jasper. It took 2 holes in a 3-way playoff at Royal Melbourne for you to emerge victorious. What were your nerves like during that playoff, and when did it sink into you that you would be here this week at the Masters tournament?
The nerves throughout the playoff, they were definitely elevated from even the start of the week. It was obviously a pretty nerve-wracking week, having the opportunity to win a tournament and get a ticket to the Masters, and then obviously when you're in a playoff, it elevates that because you're one of 3 left in the field. So that was a different experience, and I think I handled it pretty well, obviously. And then it sunk in, probably a month and a half later when I finally received my invitation, and that was a very special moment shared with my family.
Congratulations and welcome. Santiago, 2 years after finishing runner-up, you won this year's Latin America Amateur Championship in dramatic fashion with birdies on the final 2 holes. How did your close finish 2 years earlier in 2022 motivate you in entering the 2024 championship?
Well, I think that in 2022 it was very painful, not just for me, but for everyone around me. Probably hurt more than anything that I've ever experienced. But then it was a good motivation to just keep working hard and just do my own thing, because I knew I was going to have more opportunities like that, obviously with a few more years to play. And when I won, I was obviously very happy, but more proud of the work that I did, well, me and my team did.
For both of you, what has been your biggest impression since arriving to Augusta National this week? Jasper, why don't you go, and then Santiago follow, if you would, please.
I think, coming to Augusta, it's obviously always spoken highly about how perfect it is, and I think it definitely lives up to that expectation. Magnolia Lane with the flowers out is an amazing sight, and I think the crowds is the thing that's going to be the biggest eye-opener for me, that's going to be different to any other week that I've ever experienced.
Santiago?
For me, I will say how hilly it is out here. I don't think that I play a course that's this hilly, well, at least walking, and how tight it is. I don't feel like people talk often how tight it is and how hard it is to hit some fairways, but it's very hard.
Well, with that, we'll take some questions, which we would welcome in either English or in Spanish. I'll start on this side here. No, get over.
So this is for Santiago. Obviously, congratulations on being here. And I want to ask you about the last 2.5 months, if you can share how was your preparation into the tournament, taking into account that you want to enjoy, obviously, a very special week, but you want to compete as well.
Well, my preparation's been the same as any other tournament that I've been playing. I mean, I've been obviously very busy with college. I think I played 4 tournaments after the LAC. So preparation is still the same. A lot of homework, for sure, but also just talking a lot to the people that's around me and my family, trying to stay in the present.
Santi, eres el 7º mexicano en jugar el Masters. Platícanos un poquito tu relación con Carlos, con Abraham, con Álvaro, y cómo te sientes de ser el 7º en pisar Augusta National.
Obviamente muy feliz de poder representar a mi país. Creo que ser el 7º es un gran honor. El que no haya muchos mexicanos jugándolo durante los años, creo que eleva un poco más ese sentimiento. Y con Álvaro es con el que más me llevo. De hecho, está por allá atrás de la sala. Y es una persona que me ha apoyado mucho desde antes del LAC. Estuvimos hablando mucho, me ayudó mucho en cómo prepararme, en cómo cómo manejar mis emociones para ese momento. Y obviamente es una gran persona y un gran amigo, y estoy agradecido de que me pueda acompañar esta semana.
Take a question from this side of the room.
Question for Jasper. Mate, could you just give us a bit more detail about the scene when the invitation arrived in the mail? How much of a special moment was that? And what were you doing? How did you celebrate it?
Yeah, it was a very special moment. I opened it. I waited for my parents to get home from work, and we opened it all together as a family. There were 5 of us in the room at the time, and we were FaceTiming my brother, who was out of the house at the time. But we all shared that family moment together, and there was a lot of screaming and cheering that it was finally here, and that's when it sunk in. And we didn't do too much of a celebration in that night, but obviously the next couple of weeks was the holidays, so we celebrated pretty heavily.
How's just to follow up, if I may, how's the process been coming over? Did you get to come and play some practice rounds early, and what's been the experience like so far?
Yeah, the experience has been amazing. I got to come back over here in February, and I played 3 days in a row here around Valentine's Day, and it was an amazing, different experience to what it is this week. Obviously the course was empty and I pretty much had it to myself, so it was something very special to have the difference between the two, and then just enjoying being back here again this week.
Thanks.
Santiago, you had an opportunity to play a practice round this morning with Jose Maria Olazabal. Obviously not a typical practice round you'd experience at the University of Houston. Can you share just some of the information he shared with you, what your conversations tended to drift towards when you're out there?
Yeah, well, Jose Maria was very kind of letting me play with him, and I learned a lot from him. He gave me a few tips more around the greens and on the greens, but it's just special to play with a past champ and getting that information from past years. So I'm very grateful to have that opportunity.
Anything specific stand out? Just a little more detail, if possible.
Yeah, he said it's obviously, I don't know if you see him, but that's way easier when you keep the ball lower to the ground around the greens, because you don't know how it's going to land on the green, and most of the times when you're landed on the green, it's just landing on a downslope. So be more aggressive, but keeping it low.
Hey, Jasper, a couple of questions from me. Watched you, first of all, making the playoff and then in sensational fashion winning it at Royal Melbourne. Do you think that win and the fact that you were getting to play over here has made you a better player and given you extra motivation since that day in October?
Yeah, it definitely has given me extra motivation. Obviously, 2 of the biggest events in the world after winning that event I get invited to, so there's more motivation to come to these events and try and compete as best I can against a world-class field. So I wouldn't say it's made me a better player necessarily. It just gave me more opportunity to show the golf that I've been working towards playing for the last 5-6 years.
And Royal Melbourne Golf Club, visually very different from this place, but designed by the same designer, Dr. Alistair Mackenzie. Do you see any similarities in the 2 courses when you won over there and now when you have come over here?
Yeah, I think they're both pretty similar in the way that they're both very firm and fast greens. I think the course is a bit hillier here from the fairways, but definitely once you're on the greens, Royal, Melbourne and Augusta are pretty close in how fast you can get a downhill putt and how much they break. So it's pretty good to have played a lot of golf there, and I've got a bit of knowledge, I guess, from playing there.
Jasper, have you played a practice round or 2 this week? And if so, with whom? And has he or they given you some advice?
Yeah, so I played with Cam Davis this morning. He was pretty cool. He's already given me a few tips before this week about what to look out for, which was great. We played a round back in December, and just looking to play with a few of the Aussies as well. So Cam Smith, I'm going to look to play with him on Wednesday, and I think I'm confirmed to play with Hideki tomorrow, which is pretty awesome. Rio just reached out, and it was pretty cool. So we're going to play together tomorrow morning.
Was there anything in particular that Cam Davis told you?
He gave me a tip back in December to work on the second shot on 13. He said it was a shot that surprised him in that the ball's well above your feet, but it's also a downslope as well, so not many people realise that, and he said it pushed him out to the right side of the hole the first few times he played it, so that's something I've been working on so far.
Un par de preguntas en español para Santiago. Parecido a esto un poco, aparte de lo que contabas de Chema Olazábal hoy, ¿quiénes han sido un poco tus referencias o quién te ha ayudado o quién te está aconsejando y con quién vas a jugar las rondas de práctica esta semana?
Sí, voy a jugar el día de mañana con Sergio García, con Camilo Villegas y con Joaquín Niman. Joaquín fue la primera persona con la que jugué el campo hace unas cuantas semanas y la verdad él también me ha ayudado con un par de cositas, me ayudó mucho en el campo y me dijo buenos consejos y siento que es un buen grupo del cual puedo aprender mucho mañana.
Y sin querer ponerte presión, lo que significa este torneo, y yo creo que lo entiendes, para el golf en México y estar aquí y para el golf en Latinoamérica en general, ¿no?
Sí, creo, o sea, significa muchísimo, más que nada para toda la región de Latinoamérica y yo digo que para mí significa también mucho por el simple hecho de representar lo que es el LAC y lo que el LAC representa para toda Latinoamérica. Creo que es una oportunidad increíble que hay que aprovechar y que siga creciendo el golf en toda Latinoamérica.
Is there a particular, for both of you, is there a particular aspect of your games that you think will best be suited here to play well this week? Is there something that you do well that you think will come to fruition and allow you to play well this week?
I think for me, the thing that's going to help me the most out here is my creativity. I feel that I'm very creative on any type of shot. So if I keep using that to my advantage, obviously you have a lot of hills out here that you can take advantage of. So just being creative around the greens and off the fairways.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, I think having the knowledge of putting on very fast greens, obviously growing up in Melbourne on the sandbelt, we've got fast greens everywhere you look. So I think, the fast slopey greens, my putting's going to hold up on here. So I think it's just, dialing in some reads that look a little different to me out here and continuing that.
Pregunta en español para Santiago. En referencia al campo, ya lo jugaste varias veces. Si nos puedes compartir un par de hoyos, un par de tiros que desde el tee los ves como los más retadores o que te exigen más para el tipo de trayectoria que tienen tus tiros o tu juego en general, y aunado a eso como un par de hoyos favoritos también del campo. Gracias.
Yo creo que el hoyo más complicado para mí desde el tee puede ser el hoyo 7, por cómo todo pica de izquierda a derecha y yo al ser un jugador de fade siento que no me favorece mucho, pero igual, o sea, es un tiro que hay que pararte y pegarle con seguridad y no pasa nada. O sea, vamos a tener muchos tiros difíciles durante toda la semana, nada más hay que afrontarlos. Y yo creo que mi favorito es el del 15 porque está demasiado amplio, entonces ese nada más me paro y le tiro con todo.
Jasper, you mentioned the shot that Cam Davis said to work on, the second into 13. Was there any way you could replicate that in Melbourne?
Yeah, at the Australian Golf Centre we have, which is the home of the Golf Australia High Performance Program down in Melbourne, we have a driving range and it's got lots of slopes that you can just hit our range balls off, which was awesome for this week, obviously being one of the slopiest weeks of the year. I was practicing all kinds of different slopes, as big as I could find them, and then just trying to hit different shots off that, which was a pretty cool experience to be able to do that at home.
And is there a particular moment in amateur golf that gives you inspiration that you could have success here this week, whether that be Nick Dunlap winning on the PGA Tour or even Sam Bennett here last year contending through 2 rounds? Is there anything that gives you that belief?
Yeah, I think those two, amateur wins, or I guess not Sam Bennett's win, but like how he played here last year definitely proves that amateur golf is coming a long way and that a lot of these guys are ready to compete when they come out of college or at their respective programs in their countries. So I think it's pretty cool to see amateurs doing well, and it's definitely, I guess, making it easier to sort of think that we can do it as well.
would it surprise you to see yourself high on the leaderboard through 2 or 3 rounds here, or would it be something you expect?
I wouldn't say it's an expectation, but it's definitely something I'm striving towards to do. I'm not here to make up the numbers. I think Dad's been telling me everyone in the field this week's got a chance to win, so I'm keeping that in the back of my mind at all times.
Please.
Santiago, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and who inspired you into golf?
Yeah, well, my dad's the one that taught me how to play, and probably my brother was one of my inspirations when I was growing up. But if we go towards pro golf, I will say Tiger. I mean, watching Tiger do his own thing and win tournaments by a lot of shots, it was very incredible. And then when he won here in 2019, it was also very awesome to watch.
Have either of you experienced the crow's nest, and what do you have to tell us about that, both of you?
I haven't experienced it yet. I've been up there for a quick look when I was back here in February, but I'm staying there tonight after the amateur dinner, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't stayed there. I went up to take a quick look as well, but I don't know if I'm staying yet. That's something I haven't decided.
Jasper and Santiago, both of you, can feel there is a sense of anticipation when you're close to a win at the ASC or the LAC, and then there is an anticipation when you're about to come to Augusta. So can you describe any difference in those two feelings, the closing stages of your amateur event and then just before you come here?
I think, yeah, obviously there's a high anticipation to play in our respective amateur championships to book a ticket here, because it's something that's always talked about, that the winner gets the invitation to the Masters. So there's a lot of nerves heading into the week, and I think same here, it's the same feeling coming over, and it's just on a bigger stage with more people watching, so that's the only difference.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think that playing the LAC is a great opportunity, and all the players that are in that field feel the same nerves as I did. But probably coming to this week, I mean, I don't have any expectations. I'm here to just play golf and be in the present, and we'll see what happens at the end of the week. So I think I feel better right now than what I did at the LAC.
Jasper, you mentioned wanting to play a sort of golf that you've been trying to for the past few years. How have you been able to elevate that since your win at the Asia Pacific?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess, every time I come away from a big stretch of tournaments, my coach and I will look at what needs to improve, and it's just, every time we get the chance to improve on that stuff, that's what's been happening over the last 5 to 6 years, and that's what's keeping me going at the moment. And so the last 5 months since the Asia Pacific, we've been pushing on what we need to work on for this week, and so it's been, I guess, 5-month journey to here from then. So there's been a lot of work done, and still always just trying to play good golf. I've never tried to play bad golf, so just coming here to play as good as I can as well.
Can you share specifically what you've been working on?
Yeah, so a lot of the slope work, hitting shots off different slopes, getting out on our fast firm greens as much as I can, and basically finding the biggest slope as you can find on any golf course you go to, because it comes close but it doesn't compare to here.
Jasper, your amateur schedule is a little bit different than players that are playing in the United States with college events than going to a summer. You played 3 Elite Amateur Golf Series events last summer. Can you talk to maybe your preparation back home in Australia versus what you experienced last summer here in the States?
Yeah, I think Australian golf is very different to American golf, and when I come over last year, that was my first taste of American golf, so I think I was a little unprepared of what to expect. The golf courses over here are very long and challenging. Some of the golf courses we played in the Elite Am Series were anyway, and I mean, they were different tests of golf for what we get in Australia, so I think I didn't play as well because I wasn't ready for that, but I think having done that trip, it's given me the experience to go back and know what to work on coming into this week and my second sort of stretch of tournaments in America.
We'll take a couple more questions. Anybody has any? I've never had any. Thank you for your time. Have a great week. Good luck, and enjoy your first Masters tournament. Thank you for participating. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.